Alright. So just for a quick recap. I will be showing the full specs of my ROG Phone 5 Classic version in the screen now. I bought this around April of 2021 and since then, this has been my daily driver. I am not a rich person, so I cannot afford to own two phones at a time. I have recently ordered a Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4, so I will be saying goodbye on this ROG Phone 5 as soon as I get that. Since I really had a good time with this phone, I thought the best way to honor it is to make one last YouTube video about it. It's not at all a perfect phone, but it's been fun. Since most of you already know what kind of a beast ROG Phone 5 is, I will be mostly sharing the gripes I have with this phone. 7 of them to be exact. But just to be clear, I love this phone. It's probably the most fun phone that I've ever used, but as I've said, it's not perfect. And I think it will be more helpful to phone consumers that I share the issues and nitpicks I have with the phone than the praises, so that if you are planning to buy the ROG Phone 5. Since it is a lot cheaper now as the ROG Phone 6 has already been released, you can decide if you can leave with these 7 downsides of the phone that I'll be sharing. Let me first share my phone's current build. I am actually impressed by how ASUS is pushing updates on this phone. On average, I get one update per month or maybe 1.5 months. They are usually just security patches and minor bug fixes, but an update is an update. I'd take it anytime. As you can see here, I'm on Android 12 already, which was pushed to my phone about April of 2022. And you can see here my baseband, kernel, ROM and build number. Just in case you want to know. Alright. Let's get on to my 7 gripes for ROG Phone 5 Classic version. This is the first issue in my list since this is the most concerning, and honestly, this scares me a lot. This happened to my ROG Phone 5 3 times already, and it started when my phone is barely more than 1 year old. It just restarted itself. When it rebooted, it is stuck in the ROG logo for eternity, nothing happens, no animations, no response when I long press the power button, it just shows the unanimated ROG logo. Thankfully, when I was trying many buttons combinations, I discovered that pressing the power button along with the volume down button, it will restart the phone. After doing that, the phone restarted properly. But this still scares me to this day, since auto shutdown and boot loops are possible indications of a motherboard problem. This started happening after I upgraded to Android 12, so hopefully this is just a software-related issue. Second on my list of gripes is the on-screen fingerprint scanner. On my ROG Phone 5 review video, I already mentioned that the phone's fingerprint scanner is awful. I was hoping that a software update will fix it, but unfortunately, that did not happen. The fingerprint scanner is still as horrible as it was in day one. I rarely, and I mean about 1 in 20 chance, that I can get in on my phone with my first try. I always need to scan my finger multiple times before I can get into the phone, which is really annoying sometimes. And it actually added another behavior to be annoyed about. This happened twice already. After a successful fingerprint scan, it of course took me inside the phone, on my desktop icons. But while on the phone desktop, the fingerprint logo remains visible in the screen, and every time my finger runs over it, it activates the fingerprint light and seems to still do the scanning, so you can't really do anything on my phone. I needed to lock my phone again and repeat a successful fingerprint scan for it to work back. Number 3 is the mediocre battery of the ROG Phone 5. When I bought this phone, the 6000 mAh battery is one of the things I was most excited about. I was hearing 2-day battery life from the ROG Phone 3 users back then. But when I started using ROG Phone 5, I learned that there's nothing to be excited about its battery. Don't get me wrong, it is still a 1-day usage phone. But considering that this has a 6000 mAh juice, I think my disappointment is warranted. On average, I get 5 hours of screen on time. When I play games more than 1 hour within a day, I only get 4 hours SOT. Of course, when I do less games, it can go up to 6 hours SOT. Yes, that is a good averaged SOT for a phone, but again, this has a 6000 mAh battery. I guess Snapdragon 888 chip really just eats a lot of juice. On to the next item. Number 4. This is about the adaptive brightness. For those who doesn't know what adaptive brightness is, you can enable it from the ROG Phone 5 by going to the settings, then go to display and toggle the adaptive brightness to enable it. When enabled, your phone's brightness should automatically adjust depending on the environment. So for this example, when I close the room light, this should automatically adjust the brightness of the phone lower since the environment has become darker. There you go. Let me pull this down to the lowest brightness. Now, when I turn on the light, the phone brightness should automatically go up. There you go. It's working right now. But intermittently, it doesn't always work. Let's repeat the same process now and see if it still works. Let me show you again that the adaptive brightness is turned on here. Now let's set the brightness to 100%. And let's turn off the light. See? Nothing happens. We just did the same thing a few minutes ago and it was working. But this time, nothing. Now let's do the other way around. Let's turn the brightness down to the lowest. Then let's turn on the room light. Nothing. It doesn't go up. Nothing happens. Sometimes to solve this adaptive brightness issue, I directly point a bright light to the phone sensor, like this flashlight for example. There you go. See that it has now properly adjusted the brightness. Now, ROG Phone 5 is a gaming phone, so all the gaming related features should be perfect, right? Nope. Even the game Genie itself has a glitch. This happened to me just 4 to 5 times only for the whole 1.5 years of usage, but I still need to share it to you. Sometimes when I open a game, like this Call of Duty Mobile for example, the game Genie does not open with it sometimes. Since the game Genie is not open, the air triggers does not work. The worst thing here is, you'd never know that game Genie is not running, so you go inside a game, and when you press on the air trigger to fire to your opponent, you realize it doesn't work. You're dead. To solve this, I go out of the game, then open the armory crate, and reopen the game from inside here. Now it's working, as you can see in the screen here. But again, all of this will take you about 30 seconds to 1 minute to do, so by that time, you have already died 3 to 4 times in a game like COD Mobile. Gripe 6 is about the phone's refresh rate. Since day 1, I have always locked my phone to 144Hz refresh rate. As you can see here in my settings. I do this to maximize the smoothness of the phone. I love scrolling around 144Hz refresh rate, which is really, and I know you've heard this many times before, but it is truly buttery smooth. But sometimes, when I play a game, like COD Mobile here, which is a maximum refresh rate of 60Hz, I usually play it for about 15 to 20 minutes straight. When I'm done playing and go out of the game, the whole phone stays at 60Hz refresh rate. It takes about 30 minutes to 1 hour, or sometimes a phone restart, for the phone to go back to 144Hz, which is disappointing since I have my phone setting locked at 144Hz. This issue happened after I upgraded to Android 12, so it probably just needs a software fix. But the many updates that I've installed on my ROG Phone 5, one great improvement that it did was the camera performance. That is, for the well-lit shots and videos. For the low-light pictures and videos, well, that is my 7th and final gripe with this phone. The phone's camera in a low-light environment is useless, at least for the selfie and wide-angle lens. For the main lens, just like in day 1, the video is usable, but it mysteriously loses all the stabilization. Each step you take while taking a video is like a mini earthquake on the shot. It's like you are on a spring or something. The wide-angle lens can barely take any lights both on pictures and on a video shot. Sometimes you'll be lucky to get a usable video from the wide-angle lens, but it rarely happens. For the front-facing camera, just forget about it. It can only capture the brightest lights. The low to mid-light brightness are all going to be pitch black to it. Okay. After letting all of that out, I'm still happy and confident to say that ROG Phone 5 is a fun phone to use. Out of the 7 gripes I have, only 3 are permanent or hardware issues, which you can easily just avoid using or doing, and have better alternatives. 4 of them are software issues and can easily be fixed by an update. Hopefully ASUS noticed this video though, so they can fix them on the next update. Besides, there are many things to love with the ROG Phone 5. Updates are fast and frequent. The speaker on this phone is a beast as well. Many people think that I have a Bluetooth speaker when I am playing videos or music from my phone. That's how loud it is. It even has a 3.5mm headphone jack. I also think, among the gaming phones, this has the best camera. Well, except for the low light in wide angle and selfie lens, as mentioned earlier. But comparing the camera on the ROG Phone 5 to other gaming phones out there, this is miles ahead of them. I have experienced no hiccups whatsoever on anything I do with this phone. Even at 2022 standards, this phone is really fast and can run, do and handle anything that I throw at it. I know that Zach from Jerry Rig has multiplied the phone on his bend test, but you don't bend a phone intentionally in real life. In the span of 1.5 years, I cannot even count anymore how many times this phone was accidentally dropped. Given that it has case, it's still very durable considering that up to now, there's not even a single scratch from my phone. Aside from Zach's bending, the phone has a really solid build. The air trigger is always reliable and a real advantage on your games. The overall system of the phone is fast, has a lot of customization options, and I can go on and on for all the good things about ROG Phone 5. Personally, I think the phone can last up to 4 to 5 more years before it will be considered slow by everyone's standard, maybe even more. That all depends on how advanced and fast our phone technology gets by that time. But considering today's pace, ROG Phone 5 will still be a beast phone for many more years to come. That's it for this one. If you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up. If it has helped you in any way, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Nilasuj for watching. Nova Air.